If it's advertising and marketing that interests you, you're watching the right show. Welcome to All About Ads on NDTVProfit. There's been severe volatility in the emerging markets, including India. Of course, we are talking about the depreciating rupee that is impacting industries across the board, including the advertising and marketing industry. That's what we're discussing on the show today. But first, take a look at some ad news.
Pizza giant Domino's may have launched its 600th store in the capital recently, but it's betting big on Tier 2 and 3 towns and cities, especially amidst news of an economic slowdown and the depreciating rupee.
This industry is not insulated from the imminent downturn which we are going through right now, unfortunately. The rural side of the demand, led by a bit of the monsoon and a bit of all that, the Narega and everything, I think is compensating for the drops in demand in the urban side.
While most brands are scaling down their operations as well as marketing and advertising spends, the pizza major says it's investing 250 crores to open 125 more stores by next year.
It's the downturn when you should be investing behind the brand and the people brand. So our spend on marketing, advertising is only going to go up.
Innovation is when there is time of uncertainty. Innovation in new products, innovation in trying to reduce cost.
In times of economic slowdown, there are opportunities for us to expand and accelerate even faster because there may be opportunities as far as real estate. There could be more availability, real estate prices.
Domino's, which enjoys a 67% market share in the organized pizza market in India, says 50% of its sales is driven by delivery. Interestingly, while it has been seen to economize in the dining space, its 600th store endeavors to enhance the in-dining experience in the form of a pizza theater, among other things. With India reportedly the third largest market for Domino's after the US and the UK, it's evident that the brand is not giving up on the Indian market just yet.
Of course, we can't run away from the fact that the rupee has seen a steep decline over the last few days, specifically impacting advertising and marketing spends. Or are they? Have a look at this report.
This is 24-year-old Vikram working at a grocery store in the Medak district of Andhra Pradesh. After a desperate 2-year-long job search, the engineering graduate was forced to join the store after jobs became hard to come by. Another 24-year-old, a chartered accountancy student, Kushal Jadhav, living as a paying guest in the capital, is finding it difficult to meet his expenses due to rising food prices.
Earlier, my dad used to transfer around 10,000 rupees, which I could manage in a month. But nowadays, it seems 13 to 15,000 rupees a month is required just to manage living in Delhi and studying here. Now, this is excluding the rents that we pay.
With companies across the board downsizing, news of the rupee depreciating every day, thousands of people like Vikram and Kushal find themselves struggling in an economy in crisis. Despite the low sentiment, consultancy firm Ernst & Young says this is not stopping brands from pumping in marketing monies for the festive season. In fact, it estimates a 6 to 8% rise in ad spends.
We are targeting a 5.5% GDP this year. Okay, and advertising spends from an overall all categories put together, we are anticipating say close to 6 to 8% increase as compared to last year. And the reason being is, if you see the FMCG or the consumer durables or even the auto sector, they have launched new variants and they have launched new products, and hence the increase. And at the same time, the real estate and the telecom sectors are actually stuck with some licensing and regulatory issues, and because of which they may not increase their marketing kitty so much.
Backing the forecast is online travel and ticketing portal Make My Trip.
One can be, okay guys, sales is not happening, so hold on to spends and take it as it comes. But the way I would put it as an aggressive marketer, if you're seeing slowdown and if you
are confident that your products are good enough for the customer and they will buy those products, and you are then able to create a slew of 360-degree advertising around it, which will help you consolidate your position as a leader. I would tend to be more aggressive in such scenarios.
FMCG major PepsiCo, while cautious, is stressing on the need for value-based offerings at this time.
Products and categories which have a lot of import component built in, or product and categories which are going to be hugely relying, let's say, on petrol prices, etc., because those are also going to go up with the currency devaluation. Those products are going to generally find it more difficult to be available at lower prices. It is very important to be able to give value to the consumers. So they have the aspirations, but there is a certain amount that they're willing to pay.
According to WPP-controlled Group M, ad spend saw an overall increase by 13% between January and June 2012. However, in terms of change in percentage spends between Jan and June this year, there was a 13% rise in TV and print spends as compared to the same quarter last year. Auto was up 22% overall after their TV spends saw a dramatic increase by 33%. While most categories were up, BFSI up by 5%, consumer durables by 12%, FMCG by 16%, real estate by 17%, retail by 14% and telecom by 20%. Only education was down by 1%.
Looking at a industry growth of about 9 to 9.2% across all media. If you look at how the first 6 months of this calendar year have gone, that's between Jan and June, actually we've done pretty well as an industry overall. As per our estimate, we grew at about 14% in the first 6 months, over same period last year. July, August, there's definitely been a bit of a slowdown. In fact, it's been pretty sudden actually, and if this continues to last till December, then on an annualized basis, we'd be lucky if we hit anywhere near 9%. In fact, as per our current understanding, it could be lower. FMCG for one is definitely going to be slowing down. I think the rupee depreciation has hit a lot of our clients pretty hard when it comes to input costs, and obviously they're relooking at advertising spends.
While BFSI or banking, financial services and the insurance sector's ad spends have been up between Jan to June this year, clients say regulatory issues remain a stumbling block.
One way of looking at is that if it is slump time and you need to advertise more, but will you be able to justify ROIs? That's one part of the thing. Typically coming from a insurance marketing perspective, we are also facing dynamic regulatory environments which are completely changing in the product baskets that we have. Definitely, until and unless you really don't have a proposition to go out to the market and speak about, definitely your ad spends will eventually come down.
The market may be buzzing with talks of the housing sector being the most affected by the economic slowdown. However, despite the recent political scandal, real estate major DLF admits it remains unaffected and will continue building and advertising.
See, as far as the buying is concerned, the buying happens all year round, right? Whenever the person is ready to buy, he's not going to wait, so buying happens all the time. But if you talk about moving into their houses, then this auspicious period, Navratras, Vijayadashmi, Dashera, these are very good days for people to move in.
Pretty evident that political advertising is expected to give a boost to the print, TV and outdoor media platforms in the coming few months, leading up to the Lok Sabha elections next year. While that may be good news for the media sector, brands on the other hand are planning to cut down this festival season.
We know the festive season is coming up in October, but a lot of our clients are relooking at the number of initiatives that they would want to kind of run in the festive season, which would again mean maybe cutting down on budgets. And if FMCG slows down, then that's really what is going to impact the industry a lot, because they contribute a pretty significant amount to the overall pie. A lot of our clients are going to go ahead with their plans as before, but I think definitely there'll be some amount of scaling down. For example, in the festive season, I know for a fact that some of our clients who were earlier planning, let's say 8 or 9 initiatives, are today looking at maybe doing maybe 3 or 4 of them.
Last week, 10 days with the devaluation of rupee and the way the stock markets have been behaving have led to some level of jitters amongst advertisers on whether this economic recovery will happen soon enough or not. And one hopes that the advertisers will see the underlying strengths of the Indian economy, especially in the emerging markets.
Now, products and categories with an import component are most likely to get impacted by the depreciating rupee, which will lead to these categories scaling down during this festive season, which will lead to the entire advertising industry getting impacted. But as they say, with the Indian market, you can never say never. So till the festive season, it's wait and watch. New Delhi, Sumita.
We'll be discussing the impact the economy as well as the severely declining rupee is having on advertising and marketing spends. That's coming up after this short break.